So a design change is made based on a misunderstanding of the original design intent. And so if we rotate this around, we see that this cone is set on top of this cylinder, but after discussion, we just find out that the real intention was for this cone to be inside of the cylinder. So let's look at how we might do that. I'm going to go back to the original sketch and I'm going to edit that sketch, and then I'm going to remove a constraint that was on here. So we have a line going all the way across here and then a line underneath that for the cylinder. And they all meet at this point right here with these three coincident constraints. Now, only one of those constraints needs to be removed, but it can be difficult to figure out which one. So in some cases, I might remove all three. I assume that it's this one or this one, but I'm just going to delete all three and we'll put them in again. So I'll select that one, and I'll move my mouse back down here again, and I'll try to get those constraints to come up again. And actually, they're not coming up, so I'll drag this point, and I see that that endpoint of that line moves. And so then I'll get one of the others, I'll delete it, and I see that this endpoint moves, and I'll get this last one, and I'll delete it. All right. So these 2 points should be connected and those 2 points connected. So I'll do those, I'll put those back in. Now, if we've gotten the right one on the first attempt, so I'm not sure whether it would be easier to just do one. If it was the wrong one, undo it, do the second one. If it was wrong, then you know it's going to be the third one, the last attempt. But in any case, we've got. All right, then I'm going to move this point right here down to here. So I'll do coincident. I'll select this point, and I'm going to select this point to move it down to that location. And then we'll finish sketch, and I'm going to then go back through my features. So here's my sketch, and then I create the cylindrical component of a cylinder, create the cone, or the component, name the component, haven't created anything yet. Now I'm going to edit this revolve. So I'm going to edit feature, and we don't want this triangle right in here because that would be an intersection, an interference between the cone and the cylinder. So I'm going to control unselect that portion of the sketch. And then if we rotate this around and look at it from the bottom, so now we've cut a conical shape or relief on here for that cone to go into the cylinder. And then I'll do the next revolution, and we see here now is the cone, and there's no interference between the two parts. Now you might want to add a little bit of clearance. You might offset this face, or depends on how this thing is assembled. Maybe you want it to be tight against that as you assemble it. And then for the joint, I need to edit that joint or delete it and put it in again. And I'm not sure if I can just edit that. I'm going to see edit joint. I'm having a little bit of trouble with my mouse. I need to put a new battery in it. So it was my second selection. I'll go back to the first selection. I'm going to select this edge. And then, so that moves it into the position with the joint. So you can make changes to your design without having to start over from scratch or completely.